Grant sends back out Agrav, looks to go for the kill shot of the Stone Edge, but the opponent switches out into Tentacruel, saving Mandibuzz to live to fight another day. But this is by no means a good matchup for the Squid. Graveler completely core breaking the remainder of the opponent's team. Grant then catches back onto Honchkrow, sacrificing it to the Pokegods. We die to one further poison jab. Grant now maximises energy, farms up, throws the Rock Blast on the CMP side. Graveler secures the knockout. Mandibuzz, you can run, but you can't hide, as Stone Edge is going to be all she wrote. Welcome back to the channel. Firstly, I hope everyone had a fantastic Go Battle weekend. I didn't play too many sets. I managed to do 10. I gained around 200 elo, and we're currently in expert range. I was intending to have a little push for Legend. However, I'll be honest, I was frame dropping, getting lag, and I wasn't enjoying it. My top tip is if you're not enjoying something, stop. And that's exactly what I did. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Grant's Go Battle weekend. And my god, did he go booming. Of course, you're on the home of Shadow Pokemon, so we're going to be showcasing a triple Shadow, triple Glass Cannon team with Agrav in the lead, double Flyers in the back. Gyarados is going to be the safe switch, with Honchkrow being the closer. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, Graveler's target has been acquired. My first 4 battles in this format, I saw Mantine in the lead every single game. The opponent safe switches into Annihilate and Grant responds with Gyarados. Gyarados tanks the Night Slash. Grant then overfarms, fires off the Aqua Tail on the CMP tie. Aqua Tail will be lethal from this range. The opponent desperately looking to realign, invest that Protect Shield. Grant not giving up switch all that easily, going to shield up the next Night Slash. Grant is going to be able to reach the next Aqua Tail, and the ball is now in the opponent's court. The opponent going to opt to go all shields down and look to realign. Getting all shields down is pretty good for Grant, as he has one of the most ruthless closers you could possibly run with Shadow Honchkrow. We send out Honchkrow, the opponent not wanting to get snarled down, send out Steelix. Steelix, one of the thickest mon in the format, but you can see Honchkrow easily going to two-shot this thing with the Dark Pulses. Grant can easily shield up whatever the opponent throws. We can then outpace to the next Dark Pulse. This very annoying Steel Snake is going to make a very brief cameo appearance. Hi Steelix, bye Steelix. Whatever the opponent sends out is going to be switch locked. The opponent sends out Mantine. We see the pivot into Agrav. The opponent looks to call off the timer, throwing the Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace won't do too much damage. The opponent then goes for the wham bam combo play. Send back out Annihilate. But this is only a Night Slash. Night Slash just isn't going to get the job done. The Volt Switch takes them out. Back out comes Mantine, and Stone Edge is going to be all she wrote. GG's and thanks for playing. And Grant is off to a very quick 1-0 start, slaying a very basic bitch meta team. In the next battle, we see Agrav into Dugong, another very nice lead. Dugong's drill run coverage in this matchup is going to come in clutch. The opponent actually bank a boatload of energy, attempt to catch a Stone Edge onto Swampert, but Grant shows great composure, holds his energy and sends out Gyarados. Holy, Gyarados in the Great League is paper thin. That resisted Hydro Cannon did like 65% of our health. The flip side of having no bulk means we're very attack weighted. These non-stab Dragon Breaths are tearing through Shadow Swampert like a hot knife through butter. Grant then shields up the next Hydro Cannon, commits to the Dragon Breath farm down, and out comes Annihilate. Gyarados not messing around, going straight for the crunch, landing for huge damage. Holy. Gyarados almost claims itself 2 victims in this battle, leaving Annihilate on a sliver of HP. We now send out Honchkrow. Honchkrow going to be operating as the damage sponge. The opponent YOLO the close combat. Honchkrow straight in and straight out. Now all down to Graveler to clean up. Grant fires off the Rock Blast. The opponent looked to call the bait, but look at that damage. Rock Blast is such a dreadful move, but Graveler hits so hard. The opponent recognises that calling the bait wasn't an option, and they're going to concede the match. GG's. In the next battle, we see Agrav into Dragonair. Not a good matchup. This Dragon Breath eating us alive. Grant farms up, looks to catch an Aqua Tail onto Gyarados, but the opponent throws a very good timing in the middle of our Volt Switch. We shield the Aqua Tail, return fire with the Rock Blast. Rock Blast does force a Protect Shield, and then we see the aggressive pivot into Shadow. Gary, Trainer, you need to pivot. The opponent stays in to reach another charge move, but it's cost them almost all of their HP. The opponent fires off the Body Slam and then send out Squidward. Grant not going to reach the crunch, so he's forced to go for the Aqua Tail, which doesn't do all that much damage, as Squidward is very tick. Grant can now send back out Agrav, Rock, a dreadful defensive typing. We do resist poison, and that is only 7 poison jabs. This is only an acid spray. Grant knows it, easily withstands the damage, and he's full sending the Stone Edge, looking to get Squidward out of here. Stone Edge, of course, does secure the knockout, and we see the instant pivot into Honchkrow. Back out comes Dragonair. If you thought Agrav didn't tank Dragon Breath very well, look at Honchkrow's health bar. Getting absolutely shredded. The opponent not wanting to get farmed down. Pivot out into Jellicent. And Honchkrow is about to get his first big booms. The first Dark Pulse forces the Protect Shield. The second Dark Pulse on the CMP side. Gonna be securing the knockout. Get that Jellicent out of here. We snarl farm down Dragonair. And we're able to take that game. Heading into the next battle. Oof, another thing we don't tank particularly well are charms. Ironically, Agrav is our charm answer. At least I guess. I don't think we've got a charm answer. Grant fires off the Rock Blast, forcing a Protect Shield. We're able to reach the second Rock Blast. However, if the opponent 2-shield this, we're in trouble. Oh, man. Well, what to do here? Honchkrow would probably get 2-shot by charms. Gyarados on Dragon Breath, hitting for double resisted, and we don't even get the same type attack bonus. Luckily for us, we're able to reach the Aqua Tail on the CMP tie, but it's cost us almost all our HP. Finally, this annoying Charmer is going to get removed from our screens, and we need to hope that Honchkrow can boom everything. The opponent sends out Obstagoon. Grant looks to reach the Aqua Tail, but the opponent fires off the charge move immediately. Night Slash, I was going to say it will be secure on the knockout. I've got no idea why you'd cross chop. It is what it is. It's now all down to Honchkrow to clean up. Grant going to shield up the incoming cross chop, and we need to Brave Bird as Dark Pulse just won't be lethal. Grant throws 3 Snarls and the Brave Bird, but the opponent makes a very nice catch. Catching onto Gligar. Gligar gets 1 shot. Can we reach the next Brave Bird? Heartbreakingly, we cannot. The opponent counter farms down and are able to take that game. In the next battle, we see a dreadful lead. To be honest, a Steelix lead is dreadful for the entirety of our team. We save switch into Gyarados. The opponent fires off the break-in swipe, and they get the attack drop. I think we're quite happy the opponent's staying in, to be honest. We fire off the Aqua Tail. Despite getting the attack drop, the opponent still invests that protection. The opponent then gets greedy, looking for the Dragon Tail farm down, but Gyarados says no, reaches the next Aqua Tail, and even debuff that did a lot. Gyarados are very attack weighted. Grant sends back out Agrav, and I imagine we're just looking to force the energy. The opponent hasn't got enough for an Earthquake. The opponent throws the Psychic Fang, Agrav hitting for double resisted, and these Volt Switches literally are not budging that HP bar. Agrav absorbs the next Psychic Fangs left deep into the red. Grant banks the Stone Edge to the road, sends out Honchkrow, looks for the snipe. The opponent saves Steelix and pivot out into the Quagman. Honchkrow farms up to the Brave Bird, throws the Dark Pulse, and holy crap, that Dark Pulse hits like a truck. We see the instant shield deployed from Grant. We correctly shield up the Stone Edge, which is going to allow the Crow to get the Snarl farm down. If Steelix does return, that's getting Snarl farm down as well. The opponent waiting out their clock, recognising they have to send out their third. Again, we farm out to the Brave Bird bait with the Dark Pulse, but Dark Pulse just does so much damage. The opponent throws at really poor timing, giving Honchkrow a free Snarl. We see Grant invest the final protection. The opponent fire off the Night Slash bait. They then pivot out into Steelix, looking to make the catch, but no such luck. Grant then fires off the Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse forces the final Protect Shield. We then go for that 2-piece combo, serving up the Big Mac with the fries on the side, and Stone Edge is going to pick up the dub. GG's. Heading into the next battle, we lead Agrav into Frostlass. What a lead. The opponent save switches into Swampert, and Swampert is immediately punished by Gary. Despite us being a water type, we've already seen we don't tank these Hydro Cannons particularly well. We will get 2-shot. Grant tanks the Hydro Cannon, farms up, throws the Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail goes unshielded, but as it's a regular Swampert, they're able to survive. Grant now going to shield in return, as he doesn't want Honchkrow on Frostlass. Despite us being a Dark type, the Powder Snow would absolutely wreck us. Back out comes Frostlass. Grant correctly commits to the Crunch, looking to force the Protect Shield back. Crunch does force that shield. The opponent is going to get a massive Powder Snow farm down. However, they do throw an alignment. Grant, last second, invest that Protect Shield, and the opponent full send a Shadow Ball, then pivot out into Gligar. Grant looking to do some chip damage with the neutral Stone Edge. Stone Edge goes unshielded. Holy, look at the damage. Unless I'm going mad, how is that a dig already? That cannot be 7 wing attacks. We only threw 2 Volt Switches. The opponent actually running Night Slash, which means it's probably Night Slash Aerial Ace, and the opponent's choice of moveset certainly isn't going to do him any favours, as we're able to Snarl farm down. We leave with the Brave Bird. Brave Bird, of course, will be forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. Graveler then able to outpace to the Rock Blast, and Rock Blast is going to be all she wrote. GG's! If you're going to run Gligar, I'd highly recommend Dig. To be honest, if you want that Night Slash coverage, I drop Aerial Ace as it is such a shit move. You can run Night Slash and Dig, or Aerial Ace and Dig, but regardless, Dig is definitely the way to go. In the next battle, we see a Mantine in the lead. The opponent opting to stay in, which must mean their double weak Grant. Shields up the Ice Beam, he's going to get a huge Volt Switch farm down and leave with residual energy. The opponent then sends out Scrafty. Grant looking to chip this thing with the Stone Edge. Stone Edge, force a Protect Shield. Perhaps the opponent thought we had Thunderbolt. Then pivot out into Aurora, so indeed they are ABA weak to Rock. Gyarados fires off the Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. Gyarados has done its job, so I imagine we just let it go down, which we do. The opponent full send a Meteor Beam, which is massive overkill. And all that's going to allow is Grant to come in and overfarm. Graveler comes back in, perfectly overfarms, fires off the Rock Blast on the CMP tie. Rock Blast easily secures the knockout. Back out comes Scrafty. Grant just looking to call off his timer, fires off the Rock Blast. Rock Blast, of course, won't do much damage, but does call off the timer. We then pivot into Honchkrow, catching the Power Up Punch. Of course, you never want to shield the first one, as the second will do even more damage. Grant can just shield this move up now. We're going to be able to reach the Brave Bird. And of course, Brave Bird would easily one-shot Scrafty from full health. So this is going to be massive overkill. Get that Scrafty off my screen. And while we're at it, pull your fucking trousers up. GG's. Heading into the next battle, we see Agrav into Hypno. A nice matchup for Agrav as we generate energy a lot quicker than they do. We're both using 4-turn moves, but Volt Switch is 4 energy per turn, whereas Confusion is only 3. Grant full sends the Stone Edge, and to my surprise, the opponent puts up that Protect Shield. Hypno, very tick. I'm surprised they shielded. The opponent actually on Fire Punch. We see the no shield from Grant. Grant then banks the Stone Edge, looks to catch the Fire Punch onto Gyarados, where it'll also be resisted. You can see just how bulky Hypno is. They've got hardly any attack, and surprisingly, Gyarados actually tanked the charge move really easily. The opponent answer our Gyarados save switch with Toxapex. We fire off the Crunch, and Crunch still does so much. Gary is not messing around. The opponent commits to the full Poison Jab farm down. Annoyingly for us, if we send out Agrav, we're going to be forced to start shielding up Bronze. We send out Honchkrow, we get denied. Niantic, fix your fucking game. All this sort of nonsense was the reason I wasn't able to do too many sets. We're going to see Grant invest that Protect Shield. The opponent throw a trash can at us. The opponent also running a surprise nuke. Very nice Trainer. Honchkrow leaves with so much energy. The opponent then send out Mandibuzz, and Grant just YOLOing the Brave Bird. Does the opponent respect the damage? They do not. Mandibuzz near gets one shot. We then look for the snipe with the Rock Blast. Rock Blast forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. Surely we don't win this. The opponent doesn't make the catch. This Dark Pulse will be secure on the knockout. Confusion double resisted. Can we survive the Confusion that reached the Dark Pulse? No shot. What a win. Grant, you sir are my hero. GG's and thanks for playing. These battles are absolute madness. Despite all the glitches, all the lag and all the frame drops, when I receive battle submissions like this, I remember just how fun this game can be at times. In the next battle, we see Graveler into Gligar. The opponent is going to reach a potential dig. Before we reach the Stone Edge, we see Grant correctly shield up the dig. He's then going to return fire with a Stone Edge. We've already seen this does so much damage, so needs to be respected. The opponent shows no respect. Near get one shot. Grant then pivots out into Gary. Gary gets the snipe. By now, you should have noticed as well, another thing I really like that Grant does. When he pivots, he always banks charge moves, as Graveler is quite attack weighted and often wins CMP. In this battle, I've also banked the Rock Blast for later. Out comes Dugong. We're able to land the Crunch, and Crunch gets Dugong below half health. The opponent throws the Icy Wind. Icy Wind doesn't secure the knockout, and the opponent does get the Ice Shard farm down. The opponent still hanging on to 2 Protect Shields. Grant, of course, going to be forced to send back out Graveler. Grant throws 2 Volt Switches and the charge move for optimal fast move time, and only giving away 1 free turn. The opponent invests that Protect Shield, so I imagine they're going to drill run. Grant just going to put it all on the Crow. They actually go for the Icy Wind, which doesn't knock out. Graveler able to Volt Switch farm down, and out comes Quag. We fire off the Rock Blast, which is debuffed and does absolutely nothing. And we now find ourselves in a very tricky situation with Honchkrow versus Quagsire. Tough decision to make. Last second Grant correctly shields up the Stone Edge, and that should be game over. Grant throws 1 Snarl and the Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse forces the Protect Shield. Grant is now going to outpace the Dark Pulse number 2. And we already know this thing hits like a truck. So high Quagsire. By Quagsire. GG's and thanks for playing. Another very, very well played game. I've known Grant a while now. I actually saw Grant on King GBL's Discord. When he first started playing, he was running all these sort of mad picks and his timing etc. was really not the best. I think even he will admit that, but I cannot believe how far he's come on. So I think if you want to improve, join a Discord. I'm not even saying you have to join mine. If you want to join mine, it is linked down below, but just playing the game, taking tips and listening to people that are better than yourself, giving you advice, you can just improve so much. Both Grant and KitKat, who we shoutcast yesterday, are both great examples of this. Both them battlers have come on so far in the space of like 6 months to a year. However, I've got distracted, so returning to the commentary, we led Sableye, which I completely yapped over. We pivoted into Gary. Gary got the Dragon Breath farm down, shielded the return, we then forced the Protect Shield. With the crunch, we're then able to reach the Aqua Tail on the CMP type. Aqua Tail doesn't do all that much damage, but gets Cresselia down to around half health. This could be problematic as Honchkrow is difficult to use at the best of times without having no Protect Shields to hide behind. Grant sends out Honchkrow. Honchkrow will outpace. To the Dark Pulse, the opponent pivots out into Feraligatr, sacrificing it to the Pokegods. Brave Bird, gonna be massive overkill. We get the screenshot for the road. The opponent is now going to be able to outpace us. I think whatever they throw will take us out. With a 3-stage lower defense, the opponent fire off the Future Sight, which is double resisted, still secures the knockout, but Agrav has Honchkrow's back. Stone Edge picks up the dub. GG's. Another situation where Grant banked the charge move and it comes in clutch. In the next battle, we see Agrav into Mandibuzz. The opponent safe switches into Poliwrath and we respond with Gyarados. This isn't actually the best matchup for us as the Icy Winds do hit for neutral and both our charge moves are going to be resisted. Grant fires off the Crunch. Crunch does do slightly more damage and of course has a 30% chance to lower the opponent's defense. No! The opponent gets scared, throw the charge move. Huge mistake. They could have counter farmed down. Poliwrath, a very difficult Pokemon for us to navigate, but the opponent has made our job easier. We can just send out Agrav now. We can get the Volt Switch farm down without needing to shield. The opponent then send out Shadow Quag. This resisted Stone Edge will do around 50% and certainly put them into Dark Pulse range. The opponent again make a real bad mistake, shielding up a Stone Edge. I imagine they probably just didn't know the moveset. But top tip for your trainer, you would have resisted everything unless we were purified and run in return. Back out comes Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz going to be instantly greeted with the Brave Bird. Brave Bird doesn't quite one-shot, but does so much damage. Grant now going to invest the Protect Shield, shielding out the incoming Aerial Ace. Grant then going to throw 3 Snarls, throw the Dark Pulse on the CMP tie. Even resisted Dark Pulse will be securing the knockout. Quagsire offering very little fast move pressure, so of course we're not going to get Mudshot farm down. Grant reaches yet another Brave Bird and Honchkrow claims another victim. GG's and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, we lead Agrav into Greedent. Oof, this is a tricky Pokemon for us. This little squirrel is so spammy. The opponent at least looking to fake a potential Trailblaze, and Trailblaze probably one-shots. Oof, nice fake from the opponent. They farm up to the Trailblaze bait with the Crunch, and then we pivot into Gyarados. No, the opponent does have Trailblaze. Holy crap, what is going on? I think that is the first time I've ever seen a Greedent not running Body Slam. I bet that moveset catches a few people out. Pretty spicy, I like it. Grant, on the other hand, not a fan of it whatsoever. He's invested both Protect Shields on his Gyarados and just looking to get this squirrel off the screen. The opponent, happy of Greedent's contribution, elect to take their 1-0 shield advantage to then send out Air/Mandy. Grant is going to be able to reach a departing Aqua Tail, but we're going to get Air/farmed all the way down. The opponent tanks the Aqua Tail, do commit to the Air/farm down. Grant has a charge move banked on Grav. We look to fire off the Stone Edge, going for the kill shot. The opponent makes a very nice catch, catching onto Tentacruel, keeping Mandibuzz to live to fight another day. Grant then throws 4 Volt Switches. One good catch deserves another. We catch the Scald onto Honchkrow. Honchkrow does not tank that very well whatsoever. The Scald and one further Poison Jab do secure the knockout. Grant then farms up, throws the Rock Blast on the CMP tie. Hi Squidward, bye Squidward. Mandibuzz, you can run, but you can't hide. We've got the Stone Edge banked, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's. Another very nice display of energy management there from Grant in the endgame. In the next battle, well, that's a yikes lead. If I ever did see one, we're going to see the instant pivot into Gyarados. The opponent stays in, look to chip and dip. This must mean they haven't got a great answer for Gyarados. Let's see, the Aqua Tail actually does quite a lot for being resisted, and then they send out Dugong. Alignment certainly will be lost. We fire off the Crunch. To my surprise, the opponent invests that Protect Shield. They also throw energy immediately. So if you want to improve, you really need to work on things like energy management and fast move timing. I understand the opponent has got the correct alignment, however the lack of over farming has just put them in a really poor position. Speaking of fast move timing, the opponent threw that charge move at really poor timing. Despite them going for the Icy Wind bait, we're still going to be able to get the full Volt Switch farm down and leave at 100 energy. Back out comes the Quagman. This Stone Edge is debuffed and resisted, but it's still going to do a very solid chip. You can see if it wasn't debuffed, 2 resisted Stone Edge actually knock out Quag, which is absurd. We send out Honchkrow. Honchkrow commits the final Protect Shield, blocking the incoming Aqua Tail, and out comes Mandibuzz. We already know that one Brave Bird won't knock out, so Grant, not wanting to lower his own defense, throws the Dark Pulse bait, which the opponent correctly no-shields. However, Honchkrow, despite being made of paper, should survive any one move. We do survive the Aerial Ace. Grant then farms up, throws the Brave Bird on the CMP tie, does the opponent. Respect the damage, get that Mandibuzz off my screen. Back out comes the Quagman. This Dark Pulse will be forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. We then go for the wham, bam, combo play, pivot out into A-Grab, and A-Grab is going to be a Quagsire counter confirmed. Very, very nicely done. GG's. Huge shout out to Grant for yet another very fun battle submission. I'd also like to say, buddy, I think your gameplay has improved leaps and bounds. Your energy management was absolutely on point. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you've had some fun sets over Go Battle Weekend, then you'd also like to be shoutcast, my battle submission form is linked down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.